And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Terra Invicta. In our run in the initiative. This is the fourth part, I believe, of the fourth stream. We're on release candidate 16 right now. We started this run on release candidate 6. And at the rate that they're doing updates, I would not be surprised if by the time we do another stream with this, if we're on a later patch again. We're going to try to get some of our researches done, and then we're going to try to do some evaluation for potentially new mines. Because I want to build warships and stuff like that, but we're definitely at the point where we don't have the resources, per se, to afford to be throwing lots of ships around. What? Oh, okay. I remember where that was going. I put a couple in medium Earth orbit on accident, so we decommissioned them, they're gone. And there's a violent revolution in Mozambique, and we're no longer controlled, and that's fine.
I have new information.
Associated with the servants. Okay.
Surveillance complete.
That's also associated with the servants. Okay.
One grabs a weapon, another offers a hand to negotiate, a third falls prostrate, and the fourth runs. Only one of those chose the right, best response. What we're trying to understand is how to ensure we induce that response when the time comes. Colonel Hans Castillo, during a staff meeting with morale officers.
Okay, so we had control of arrival psychology. So that's arrival psychology done. Some improved shipbuilding techniques. No. Well, we might want that eventually for rapid shipbuilding, but we're not ready for that. Do mass communication for broadcast outlet. Extended space survival. It's tier 2 residential modules. A bit expensive, but that gets into space traffic control. Space navies will want for space works, but actually don't really have the industry to support space works at the moment. Molecular assemblers. Okay. So that's volatiles and radioactives. If you wanted tier 3 augments, we could go to cyborging. We're not haven't quite saved up enough money for that yet. So we'd have to be picky if you were to go that early for it. Need to stay away from exo-atmospheric fighters, otherwise we're going to have the servants screwing with our abs. I probably do want the advanced missiles eventually. Let's go here. This is... That space traffic control, which I think is control. Forget if that's... I think that's reduced mission control for spaceships. Memory servers. Or, no, space traffic control is... I'm thinking of a later tech when I'm saying reduced mission control. It's extra investment in mission control. Yeah, I think we'll do this one. It's going to be a while before that one completes, but that's fine. Light bulb drive. Yes, please.
Target secured.
Our supporters are in place.
Okay. That's why it was fine that we lost the other place, because now we just have full Qatar. Yeah, a little surprised we had a coup against it, but apparently we did.
We'll make our appeal.
What's the op?
So you had apparently 11 loyalty, guessing 11. Yeah, so let's continue
Initiating
investigating one of them. We can
surveillance.
turn one of the servant ones.
Ready for my mission.
And you just keep looking for other people.
We'll see what they're up to.
Standing by for orders. We'll turn down
Actually
the
sent you
heat.
around stabilizing for a bit. Gonna get another lab type done. So we can, in theory, upgrade some more, although that might make the metal situation a little bit worse. We'll see. I think most of the metal issues actually come from all the skunk works I have. So I should probably stop building new skunk work. Well, we stopped building new skunk works, to be fair, so...
I think we had a breakthrough.
Well, we'll try one more time. We're not apparently getting any loyalty buff, so that might just be that the person's loyalty is actually just really high. And they've got a trait, which they do have a trait that makes it look like it's due. So behind the scenes, it might be much higher than 2, but that's hard to check. Science tour. We can pay boost. We get less science, notably. So this is 1.4 thousand. Instead we can get 5,000. Pay a bunch of money, pay a bunch of boost, but all off-Earth mining and shipbuilding is 5% faster. Don't have research campus or research university module. No Atom Smasher or Collider. But we can get mining and shipbuilding. We'll do it. It's expensive, of course. We burnt through a lot of money doing that. We burnt through half the stockpile of money, but
Person of interest surveilled.
that actually meant that took us from being negative on nobles to positive, so. Actually, 11? Okay.
I have new information.
Affiliated with the Academy. Do repeat and continue so I can find that person again. We're not going to turn the Academy person, but I may go say hello and maybe try to buy some stuff.
Order is returning.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
Hunters. So we're live for the initiative. Public opinion increases for the aliens, which isn't particularly great. We gain monthly income by 10%. We're going to let them do as they please, which makes it better. We're not an anti-alien faction. We're not a pro-alien faction, so we just go for the initiative option. Give us some money. 10 a month, which only works out to like 0.3 a day, but
They'll all be so busy fighting down here that they won't even realize we've already built ourselves an empire up there. Director Khalid Al-Ashqar comments to investors ahead of the Emirates Mars mission.
that's one option, I suppose. They finished Great Nations. They're going for rival mass communication. Could try to take control of that. That would slow down all the other research. This is a pretty small one, so getting control fairly soon is reasonably valuable. Okay, let's also generate some more revenue. So come in here, direct investment, funding. Confirm.
Standing by.
Okay, so you can try to turn them. You burn 64 influence, you're up to 78%. That's
We'll
probably
bring
worth
them
doing.
to our side.
And then you can
Reporting
do a contact mission on the Academy.
We'll open a channel.
Grab a little bit more espionage. And you might as well grab a little bit more persuasion. Which in theory just made that
Standing
go
by
up.
for orders.
Now 83%. Nice. Okay, let's confirm assignments, let some time pass. The Academy, okay, so the Academy just broke their non-aggression pact. As we're coming to say hello, there comes Humanity First doing the same thing. Apparently everyone is like, you're scary,
will
we don't want to be
save
friends
our
with you,
world,
which is a bit of a shame.
even as you thoughtlessly plunder.
They regard us as a major and growing threat and will oppose us. Bit of a shame. I was hoping to hold on to those non-aggression pacts for longer. Although there's oppose us and they're really opposing us, which is a different question. And we could probably buy stuff off of them. We could buy habs off of them. They got no science to sell us, although we could sell them some science. And we might if we go to buy some of their habs, I suppose. Presumably some of these are on Mars. Go to Mars. Thank you for taking me to Mars. Pick the planet. And now I can cross-reference this with the thing. Has Academy got anything there? That place has a medal, doesn't have a lawn. They've got exactly one place on Mars. That probably makes the most sense to be the thing I buy if I'm going to try to buy something. Okay, Palantinia. And as far as I can tell, Dante base. Okay, so it's Dante base. So that's the base we're talking about. They say they need more than that. I agree. They probably do need more than that. They're not just going to give it that to us for nothing. That's not enough. What if I give you all our money? I don't really want to give you all the money. No. That would be too easy. Give you a bunch of ops. Give you like 1,000 ops. Can I keep some of the money then? Yes. Okay, this works for me. We'll take that base. Complete trade.
Offering support. I believe they'll stay loyal to the cause.
Didn't I just buy a base off of them? Dante base. Okay, it just didn't upgrade. Update the ledger there. Fair enough. Okay, so that looks to be done. You're a tier 2 mine, you're a settlement core with a couple solar collectors next to it. Oh, they got a fission rate. That's how it's being powered. Fair enough. Okay, a couple solar arrays to power everything. We'll throw an admin node in to increase the metal coming off of this mine. This mine's actually making everything, so yeah, we'll throw an admin node in. There's definitely no complaints there. And then one other thing I can do to reduce our metal consumption is move away from material labs where I don't need them. Right here, we want some science. But if we really were to keep these, we'd want to upgrade them to the tier 2 anyway. Apparently got enough here that I could replace one of them with an admin node. That's a start. We're not going to do materials research as replacement. So no energy, no materials, because those both eat metal. No space. No Xeno. Is that all my tier 2 labs that I've got right now? Energy. Yes. Tempting to do info. To be fair, that's only gonna save us like 0.1 metal, right? Although doubling the base science is probably worth it. We would have the tier 2. Okay, so we need to wait until we get some better tier 2 labs. Really do that swap. Here we got the life science. I'm going to replace one of the life sciences with the admin node. I've got the boost for that. That'll get us more out of the mine, which is more metal, so on and so forth. Yeah, got enough to run like 20 admin towers, which is more than we got places to put admin towers that are worth doing. Here, we're going to write again the materials with the admin node. And we got materials here, we're going to write one of them with the admin node. It's not saving us a lot. Oh, and we're building just nothing but solar arrays here to power a tier 2 mine. I could technically throw a few more solar arrays out through an admin tower here as well. Sure. That's fine as is. That'll be fine when it's done. I think that'll be fine when it's done. Oh wait, that's... To be fair, we're probably already paying that upkeep cost. Although maybe we're not, and it's gonna get worse, but... This is life science. We haven't researched the lab yet, but we'll probably do that upgrade when it gets offered. Or when it's done. We're in the process of doing it. Let's not worry too much about the Earth ones for the moment. Cycle all the way through, back to the Mars. This is the Moon. Again, we probably have the boost that if I'm worried about power, I can just toss an admin node up here. There we go. Again, an admin over life for a little bit more mining. Admin over the materials. A little bit more mining. Okay, that's all the way around.
We'll be ready for...
Really, I just need to do more mining. Maybe I should go ahead and get the automated
Their
bases
conditions are
and the automated mines. Oh, we failed.
Things are stabilizing.
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
Of course, one thing that's changed, right, is they now all have thought of me as a state where I can't get non-aggression pacts with them. So I suppose I could just be aggressive to start taking stuff from all of them. Oh, they're not all. They haven't all gone off the deep end. We still retain... Surprised it's the Protectorate I still retain it with. But retain it with the Resistance as well. While the Resistance keeps it, I will let Resistance have the Oligarchs in China. Okay, let's keep trying... Well, actually, no, at this point we know they're probably not going to agree. We think they're not going to agree. Well, that doesn't stop me from trying to contact them because I want mines. Right, because most of them Tolerance. Well, we have tolerance to the Academy now. Okay, so they're technically considering us in conflict. I was about to say, one of the things we could do is we could try to negotiate for their mines, which is definitely a potential option. You know, probably what I should do is I should start saving up for, or start researching into Marines, so we can send some Marines around to pick stuff up. Expand our mining capacity that way. Oops. I suppose the one thing I now got to be concerned of is I no longer have non-aggression packs with most of them, so it's going to be much harder to defend all the low spots. Let's start doing dependent nations in our smaller ones. In particular, definitely Singapore.
Securing our interests.
Ready. Reeling them in.
Ready to go. I will tell our story.
Ready for orders. Securing our control. Securing our interests. Securing our control.
Offering assistance. Mission cancelled.
Oh, I went to ground. Okay.
Things are cooling off.
We've moved the needle.
You know, let's stop spoiling in Saudi Arabia. The inequality is starting to become a problem.
I could set a puppy on fire on live TV, right? And it wouldn't change a bloody thing. That's how much they love me. Chairman Soren van Beek, post-trial comments to the news media.
I'm not sure if that's how that works IRL, but if you're right, that's sort of how the non-aggression pact's failure here sort of feels. They all dislike us now. Rival culture. I suppose let's get those advanced missile warfare going.
Securing our interests. Securing our control.
Where do you need me? Surveilling target.
No, apparently didn't go to ground. We just lost enough info on them. We weren't able to do the turn mission. Okay. Yeah, let's pull spoils on all of them. The Middle East. And start working down the inequality. The inequality is high. Inequality in the UAE actually isn't that bad. I probably could keep spoiling there, but we're probably at the point where I should stop spoiling. We kind of have some mandated spoilage going on in China because the resistance control is one of the points, but...
Securing our control.
Lending my expertise.
nanotube armor. So if we were still trying to think about building warships, we'd be really interested in that. Probably want the nanotube filament radiator going that same logic. Flip side is I'm probably at the point where I need to get more mining going. Do I have what I need for the marine assault? I do. So let's do the marine assault. First, and I might do. We'll see how this how the factions respond to us assaulting them. Take their stuff.
Person of interest surveilled.
Okay. Set the lead in the missile warfare. Honestly, I can trust they're going to do a military tech. That's probably fine. I'll let them take control of that. Just hopefully don't want anyone else to take it over. There's a military research center done. So I'll follow that with the info science research center. And I think I have both the life and the climate one done. Or do I? I can check that. Life isn't done. Might have climate done, but not life. Okay. Yeah, so we got military. And apparently don't have level 2 climate because it's not showing up here. We got energy, materials, military, space, and Xeno. Oh, so it does have some background metal and nobles, which isn't super great. Although it's for the space efficiency, it's probably worth it. Again, it's 4 times the modifier as well, so.
Okay, all flight controllers, 4 more minutes to T2.
So that's life. There's our military. So let's still do the upgrade of the military one. It's going to cost us science in the short run, but it'll generate more science in the long run. Because the 9 is going to become effectively 5, but the science doubles per mod, so it's 50 science instead of 45, and the bonus, military bonus, will go from 22.5 to 50. So, yeah. And then solar array. Okay, so then it'd be power to that. Farm. We have an admin tower up here. No, give it an admin tower as well. Probably still want to overwrite that military science lab to tier 1. Oh no, we have climate research center, so I should do the climate research one as well. Go find the climate one. We don't have enough power to do. Nope, we're going to leave that as a military one. Because we don't have quite enough power. We have 5 power to replace this. So I could replace it with basically anything that costs 5 power. And we may come back and do that, like put a tourist module or something here. And social. There's the climate. And then once again, we have just enough power that, yes, I can replace the Comet Lab, but it would have to be something that's basically the same power cost. So it can stay there. Anyway, in the short run, this is reducing our science. In the long run, it will be a science increase.
Violence is abating.
Another mine done. This is the upgrade to the moon, which means I'm now metal positive. Okay, so now I can start being a little bit more wishy-washy on trying to expand the fleet. I realized, and this is me screwing up. Back in February, I should have attacked the
in our direction.
surveillance fleet. Not necessarily to succeed, just to attack it, to delay the survey mission. That was an oops. Here's a surveillance fleet. You finish in October, April, May, June, July, September, October. So really I should wait till September to screw this up. All things considered. Yeah. We'll see if I remember in September. That'll probably be the next stream, which will probably be why I forget about it. Agitator lowers Unity, we don't want that. And your admin's capped at 24, so we can't raise admin. Espionage is capped. So it's persuasion, espionage, or command. We'll do more persuasion. At this point, we've run around to all the places I actually care about and defend interests on them, except for China and India. Maybe a debate whether I actually care about India. Care about it because it's big and it's got a lot of people. Isn't necessarily a good reason to care about it.
Making our case. We must persuade the people.
You don't have enough info to turn.
Standing by.
Okay. Confirm assignments, let some time pass.
I will help them.
Marine assault unit, okay. The cannon I was thinking of going for, I need patrol vessels for the Electron lands. Let's continue to move towards, I think, usable ships. So let's do the light bulb drive into nanotube into gas core. Something like that. In the meantime, we can take a look at ship construction. Ship designer. So we were using interdictors before. And apparently got a lot of drives that aren't worth using. I'm going to do solid rocket stuff. Liquid rocket stuff. Might use the quartz drive for... We'll debate quartz drive. Actually, probably going to use the grid drive here. Grid drive, solid core. The titanium. really, these shouldn't really see any combat. At this point, the nanotube is like 3 times better than everything else in weight. So it's the only thing we're going to use out of these. So there's the nanotube. That basically means that we did 1 point on the previous ship. Well, that's going to weigh the same as 3 points. We're probably still only going to run 1 point on this one for reasons. And then utility module, we want marine assault units. You know, this weighs more, so if we technically wanted to go from Earth to Mars, we're going to need like that much boost. Let's get an example transfer. Sure, we'll do from intermediate orbit. Is there any of the mines we want to go after, for example? Say we want to go after one of the asteroid belt locations. Oh, when you click it, there we go. So yeah, that would be enough to technically go out to the asteroids. 20-week trip. Better than the mine we sent out, for example. Right, so if we're thinking, hey, we want to send out Marines to go seize an asset somewhere. That would work. That would definitely work. Yeah, 20-week ship out to there. Single drive, not very heavy. It's got a little bit of frontal armor in case we want to send it after aliens. Actually, we should probably drop the frontal armor. Although, what's that doing to the cost? Like, nothing to the cost? Put in a frontal armor that it can't just be hit scan, and we'll call that good. This is going to be the Marine ship. So the Sunfish here. This is going to be our transport. Hypothetical transport there. And I suppose we could go in and we can see what that would look like. So, say do the upgrade on the Ling. This is not a proper... Swap over to gas core. So this won't be a valid refit because it's got the wrong... You can't swap power plants like that, right? And we'd want to upgrade this to the new armor. And then, if we're thinking for planetary defense, we want something like 10 kps. So, Ling, that would basically be the planetary defense one. This is, I suppose we should actually do real orbit for this. So that would be to, say, low Earth. Get there in like 8.2 hours. Actually, arguably, that's probably not fast enough, because that's on the quartz drive. Quartz drive isn't quite good enough for what we want. Although I can put more drive on it, right? Put more drive, put more power plant, or put more... Yeah, crank up the drive, get it down to 3.8. Still a little slow for planetary defense purposes. Especially because they've got no armor on it. But then this is the quartz drive, right? That's why we're not using the quartz drive. The light bulb should work. Light bulb actually should work on the next size up. It might not actually work on these small ones because it might be too... The drive itself might be too heavy. Yeah, we're not going to use that. It doesn't have enough fuel for interplanetary stuff. And it's not fast enough for planetary defense yet.
Surveillance complete.
Aliens versus Exodus. Looks like Exodus won a fight. Good to see.
Things are stabilizing.
The people will come to our side.
Public sentiment is increasingly with us.
There's the Hydra language complete. While it will take some time to fully comprehend the Hydra language, we've now identified sufficient patterns and repeating elements to establish the core concepts behind it. Essentially, the methodization is twofold. An auditory aspect, much like our own, and perhaps more importantly, a ferrocite-based aspect, which chemically and wordlessly conveys the emotional context of the otherwise functional speech. We can now proceed with direct translation of spoken element, should we wish it. It remains seen, however, how effective any attempt at communication will be without the replication of the chemosensory element.
We've exchanged simple communications with our alien subject.
Simple communications, their alien subject. So now we can interrogate them, if we so chose. I think we probably want to move on to alien technology here. Okay. I don't think we've gone far enough through the tech tree to see strategic deception yet. Chickens. Yeah, no. I haven't been far enough in yet. That's where we kind of want to get in the tree before we stop, lay off advancing through the tree. Okay. Enemies are planning. Okay. The only thing we might change is you can now try to turn that counselor. Base to 32. Kick it up to 87 using influence. Go ahead and do that.
Soon. Offering support.
I don't know if it's the alien tech we need or the interrogation of the counselor that we need for
We now have a spy in their ranks.
strategic deception.
I
Okay, now
work
our
for you
spy.
now.
You're set to 0%, which is what we want. We now know that there are alien bases. Okay. Well, an alien base.
Order is
Alien
returning.
base. I'm not sure if I've got the assault capacity to storm it yet.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
Now, unlike dealing with the xenoforming, the bases will piss the aliens off. Here's the concern with storming them. Okay, so there's info, which apparently they've added a little bit of base resource consumption to all the research centers. They used to not be the case, so there was very specific ones you'd focus on. Oh, maybe the life science doesn't have it, because it looks like life science doesn't. Or, well, I think life science has more volatile upkeep instead of having some metal or whatever. Which, depending upon what asteroids you have access to, is probably what you want to be spending. And then social science, the other one, yeah. So more volatiles and more water, but it doesn't have the other metals or whatever with it. Okay, and that's obviously another hab up in Earth orbit that we want to upgrade. The life science one. Oh, not the life science. Info. Military's already upgrading. Where's the info? There's the info. No, that's climate. There's info. Then solar. Farm. And admin tower. And I'm not powered enough, so that means I need to do another solar farm. And that's not enough power. The infos use more power, don't they? They do. They use 40 instead of 20. 40 instead of 20. Okay. So I either need to write over the admin tower or the solar power. Or the farm. We're gonna overwrite the admin tower. I don't need the control points that badly. And now we got the power. Breakthrough! Scientists working aboard the Al Damashik station have reached unexpected insights. Cutting-edge space laboratory is available at the station. Combined with the solitude and privacy granted by citizens and relative independence of Earth, have allowed the researchers to push new boundaries at the forefront of science. As the owners, we naturally have the privilege of announcing the nature of these new discoveries to the world and deciding how they will be used for humanity's benefit. We get a bonus to knowledge around the world, get a public support bonus, get a bonus to found space program boost in mission control, or off-world mining by 5%, or ships build faster and damage control teams repair faster. We're having resource problems in this space right now, so off-Earth mining is real tempting. Yeah, we're gonna do the mining. And there's the light bulb drive done. And the Life Science Research Center done. So the light bulb, we said we're gonna go light bulb into filament radiator. And then the research center needs to go into the next research center. So we've got materials, space, energy, both of the life, the military, the info, and we're just short social science. There we go. Okay, so that's another base to upgrade. So go up here and check which base that is. This base. And the farm, and we need, I think, at least one solar array. Can I get away with the admin tower on this one? Almost. I just have to overwrite the last of the life sciences. And that's because we're in low Earth orbit. Low Earth orbit gets a little less sun. There we go. And then ship-wise, we can contemplate maybe upgrading the ship for the Ling class for orbital defense. So we're already working. Yeah, we're going to upgrade the armor if we're going to do that. Drive, out goes grid, and the power plant. In goes light bulb and gas core. We haven't done the radiator yet, although we know the radiator is going to get upgraded. It's going to need like 8 kps. We'll say we'll go 4. It's ideally going to want enough speed. On the base gas core, we don't have enough power to put more drive. Although we can already see we're on one drive, we're doing a lot better than we were on the quartz. Ideally, I want to get this below 1.8. Yeah. So, not going to do anything with that design because we don't have the power plant yet. We need to upgrade the power plant. The radiator rolls out because the radiator makes it lighter. Now, that event we just had, I think that event is the event that requires you have science and a skunkworks at the location. So, that's why you see a lot of skunkworks everywhere and a lot of science everywhere. Even if it's very trivial amounts of science in some locations. Okay, who do I want to mess with next? Probably just want a public campaign, actually, because we don't have a lot of control points to play with for more territory.
We must persuade the people.
Oh, and the other thing I can do is this won't be too expensive. Mars. We got 2 space stations on Mars. The Sunfish has, or 2 space docks on Mars, has the marine assault units. It's got enough range it can happily move around the Mars system. Technically, both of these are actually 2 different locations. We'll have to spend some energy to get down from the L1 to low Mars. But we'll go ahead and build 2 of those. I think 2 of those is probably going to be enough to take most of the undefended locations. And while it probably does make sense to buy rather than seize, first of all, I don't think we're going to be able to buy off the servants. So we'll probably just take from the servants. Or the Protectorate, or whatever. But if they're unwilling to negotiate or not willing to negotiate for a good price, we can always send the Marines after them. That's going to be the plan there.
Lending my expertise.
Broadcast outlet. Okay.
Things are cooling
We
off.
can see more of the mission controls or admin towers are coming in line, so we're getting more control points from various places.
We've moved the needle.
It's over 80%. That's probably good enough.
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
The people will come to our side.
The people will come to our side.
Okay, India Games claims on various things. We had that. We're not going to research that right now, but it's something we may do in the future if we take over full control of India.
Acknowledged.
Do you want to start going back and picking up those weak spots, the weaker nations again? Now that I am not non-aggression back with most of the people, I think the answer is no. Stop running Unity in China. So I'll put that pip into environment. The reason is I don't want to be buffing resistance opinion there.
Telling our story.
You know, probably am reasonably close to the point where we could just assault the alien structure. Yeah, we could just assault the alien structure. We'd have to be paying more admin than I really would, or more ops than I really like, but we could take it. But we've got the alien tech from blowing up one of their ships, so we don't need the tech right away that we get for doing that. That's June of this year. That's actually pretty soon. That's October, which isn't too bad. That's July. That's not too bad. Okay, so the tech is actually doing pretty good. Right now we're getting 90 a day.
Offering assistance.
With more in the works. Looks like we got 4 places currently improving their tech rate. Our asset went silent. That's a shame. We'll have to try to get another one. Which shouldn't be too hard to do.
Violence is abating.
The people will come to our side.
We've moved the needle.
We've moved the needle.
Terra from the deeps. We're going to deploy the local Coast Guard. Because it's a nation where we don't have a navy. Yeah, deploy the local Coast Guard. Apparently we hit the bad result. Yeah. 2 abductions, alien megafauna spawns, GDP collapses, cohesion declines, unrest increases. And there's a revolution, so we don't control the place anymore. It's not our problem anymore. Not our problem anymore. Okay.
What's the option?
No point in public camping there. Might be worth doing there. Let's do there.
We must persuade the people.
I'm here.
I want to turn another servant counselor before we lose contact with all of them. 83%
I'll
chance
make
of
an offer
success.
they can't refuse.
Offering counsel.
We've turned them to our cause.
Turn them to our cause.
Please keep me safe.
You know, that
Things
person has
are
enough
stabilizing.
persuasion. I wouldn't mind if something bad were to happen to them, and as long as I don't have to be the one who does it, because they have untouchable. What do the servants have for counselors, I suppose? Okay, they have 6. We only knew where the 1 was, but they still have another 5. When I only had 1 detected, I was wondering if I had we're down to 1.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
Social Science Research Center is complete. Cool. Is that all the labs now, or am I missing one of them? I think that's all the labs. We did you, we did you, we did you, we did both of you. Did you. Okay, so that should be all the labs. I do need to do the upgrades on the last bit of labs, but that's all the labs. While we're waiting, obviously, for Tier 3, let's pick up Gas Core so we can contemplate a slightly better... Yeah. Pick up Gas Core so we can contemplate a slightly better one. Better ship. It'll be done in July. Should probably be next stream. We're coming up close to the end of the stream
Public
here.
sentiment is increasingly with us.
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
Oh, before I forget. We have another tab that needs upgrading. This is the social science one. It was somewhat easy to guess which one of the social science was, because it was the only one that wasn't upgrading out of the bulk of them. And the admin tower is, and my note is there. Doesn't need power. Or doesn't need to... Oh, these are only taking 16 power. Yeah, we really don't need to replace you with another solar panel. In fact, you use so little power, I'm tempted just to upgrade you to a social science as well. You can't. Has a slight materials cost. That's not too bad. Yeah, we got 6.2 net, so that's not going to be too bad. I can work with that. Yeah, we'll toss that a bit. Okay. You're upgraded.
Okay, I'll flight controllers, 4 more minutes.
You're upgraded, and you're upgraded. Actually, technically, you aren't upgraded because you're running the old space docks, and we don't have the upgrade for you yet.
20 seconds, we're gonna go for landing. Eagle, you're looking great. Coming up 9 minutes.
And I suppose we could go through the space for the Mars mines. We got a lot of power on Mars. We could definitely make these mines, or make these labs more efficient. There might even be the argument for picking up the research campus and replacing them outright with just straight research campuses. We'd need more volatiles and water for that, but that would be an option. I'm not going to worry too much about messing with Mars right now. We're coming up close to the end of the episode. In fact, I should probably at the end of the episode end now, but we'll go ahead and at least bring the counselor cycle to an end. Nanotube filament radiator. Flexible wires made of carbon nanotubes emit waste heat into space. And then I'm already doing the power plant. I was thinking about maybe doing the research council, but yeah, it's one mission control, which is a lot, and it's 3-3 on water and volatiles. We have the volatiles, but we also need that for the armor on any of the ships that we build with armor. In situ. Repellent and unimproved hab sites. Okay, so that's maybe an argument, especially for various options. Yeah, we can improve maintenance procedures, reduces hab accidents. Oh, I should do patrol vessels because I want to potentially design or get an idea of how well the particle cannons work. We won't do it this stream, but we'll get it done the next stream. We'll attempt to run it long enough to do a design with gas core. That'd be 2 counselor actions. It'll run us a little over because we're already at time. Yeah, I'm gonna be greedy. I'm gonna run it 2 more council actions so we can see the efficiency improvements of the solid core. I think we may only need solid core 2 to get the timing that I want.
We'll make things safe.
Your orders? We'll make our appeal.
You're on advised missions, you're going to want more command. Okay, it's an easy decision. Okay, I'm going to let it run a little bit longer so I can show you what redesigning it with the next power plant means. Not sure if we can get it up to full 6 on the in the tier 2. We might need the tier 3.
We've moved the needle. We're winning their hearts and minds.
Public opinion remains unmoved.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
Okay, we lost that. That's fine. With changing circumstances, we're probably more interested in trying to control big spots. For example, if I get enough public support in here, we might take swing at, because we're already in conflict with the servants. Try to take the servant executive here in India. One more council action. Everyone was on repeat, so we just confirm. Let some time pass.
Offering assistance.
Oh, and I should stop investing in Unity here, so that we're not buffing the servants. Gas core fission reactor, that's good. Burner is the MC1 one, I think, for ships pretty well. out of the gas core line. Whereas light bulb, I think, works reasonable for MC2. Which may be one of the reasons that it doesn't seem like it's getting good time, is it might not be quite the right power plant, or the right engine for what we're trying to do. We'd go into 3, but 3 obviously isn't currently available. Or the drive. The drive isn't available right now. I forget if it's the... Is it the batteries that goes into the ion point defense? Batteries into E-beam batteries into ion batteries, particle batteries. No. That's not what I'm looking for. Oh, point defense ion battery. That's it. So yeah, that's the line down to the point defense. Although, probably want the 40 millimeter autocannon. 40 millimeter autocannon for anti-kinetic work is got the best rate of fire until you get to the last laser point defense. And then the ion one is, I think, the best for missiles until you get to the tier 3 laser point defense. Of course, the problem with the 40 millimeter autocannon is it has ammo. So, if you're really having to mag dump, it runs out of ammo. No, action. We'll go to the end of the counselor action. I'll show the
Things are cooling off.
do the design right at the end here before I save.
The people will come to our side.
Our case remains unheard.
Oh, 2 failures in a row. Starting to get a little worried that you've been turn
Public
bait.
sentiment is increasingly with us.
And we're not far enough in the tech tree to fix that. Not far enough at all. Although we're probably getting pretty close. Rising talent. Identified a crewman among the Perch. India 1 as an officer candidate. During otherwise routine cruise, the staff reviewing performance reports highlighted this crewman not only for their outstanding performance and adherence to values on board, but also for demonstrating aptitude and strategic thinking. Okay. That's a new event that I have not experienced before. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of ship design, and then we're going to bring this part in this stream to a close. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at potentially an upgrade to the Ling here. That uses a new power plant and a new drive. So light bulb, tier 2. You do now have the nanotube, so we can swap to the nanotube. Which you can see is saving us a whole 12 tons on one light bulb drive. So it's technically going to save us 12 tons, I think, per light bulb drive. So it's a non-trivial amount of weight there. And then we can put the armor on, which, with the exception of the nose one where we got some, isn't going to do anything. Although it does save us quite a bit on the nose. Needs at least 4 kps to do what we want. Probably want to be able to do it there and back. 4.7 hours with 1. 2.6 with 2. Get more fuel. Yeah, so we're doing about 2.5. 2.5, and that's probably due to thrust efficiency. So we're probably hitting the point where the engine's too heavy to really get more thrust out of it. Because at this point we're probably mostly engine and power plant, whatever. 2.5 is almost in the appropriate range. You can probably make do with 2.5. 2.5, you'd probably arrive... The aliens arrive first, they start destroying things, and you would arrive in the middle of them destroying stuff. But this is a viable design, let's say, because we'd at least be able to save the station. Or at least arrive, hopefully, before the aliens have left, right? So we're not necessarily trying to save the station when we're showing up in those sort of circumstances, but rather trying to get rid of aliens, to do attrition to the aliens. And this is a incredibly cheap ship, right? Everything's below 100 on this. It's reasonably cheap. I Again, I think this will work better on the MC2 ships. I think we've reached the point because the ship is so small that we can't realistically make it any faster by putting more engines on it. At least of this type of engine. The burner, I think, will do it better, but we haven't researched the burner for the MC1s. We'll save this design. Insufficient Delta V for interplanetary travel. Yeah. This is a planetary defense ship. That's what it does. Also, arguably for the for the planetary defense one, we want fire control. But we don't have fire control yet. So yeah, this is where we're going to put the part break in. We've seen a little bit during this stream, a little bit of space combat. I do need to remember... Next month, I need to remember to send some guy to go fight these guys. Not to win. I don't need to win. In fact, actually, it would be arguably the best if we sent someone with the express intent of them dying. Because if they do that, then that reduces the hate from the aliens. And still delays that timer. The goal, really, at this point, is not necessarily to blow these guys up, but to delay that timer cost-effectively. And sending one ship, that they'll probably fight one ship, about a month before the timer runs out, get them into a fight that resets the timer to like 6 months. That's really what we should have done. I really should have done that back in February. I screwed up. I think they have 2, so they can have up to 2. Doing surveillance missions at one time. And then every time they complete a surveillance mission, they're going to go back to one of their docks to complete the mission. Well, technically the mission implies as soon as they complete it, but they got to go back to repair the module, and then they can come back and do it again. There and back, there and back, there and back. So this one's here. We'd like it to not complete its mission. The previous one is probably off to wherever their closest station is. It may, in fact, already be on the way back. I would not be surprised if there's one on the way back. Got the planet selected, not... No, doesn't look like there's any coming to Earth right now. But, yeah, wouldn't be surprised if there's one on the way... Well, maybe it's on the way out.
Where do you need?
Depends on how much of a burn they did for the outbound. We're up to 2.9k monthly income. We probably want to get it to, eventually up to, 10k income. So, we've got, a quarter to a third of what the science we want in the long run. We control 5/6 of China, 2/5 of India, 3 countries in the Middle East, and a bunch of random nations we don't care about, with the exception of Singapore, which is really nice. We're getting 3 mission control here, which is not very much, but 2.6 boost, monthly boost. So a fifth of our boost is coming from Singapore. The tiny little nation of Singapore. 5th of our boost. Right, all of China is only providing twice as much boost than in comparison to Singapore. And Singapore's a great place to live. We've got the sustainability maxed out there. The education isn't utopic yet, but it's going to be there pretty soon. If anything, it's a little bit too cohesive, which is why we're not investing in welfare. And it's almost a full democracy. It will soon be a full democracy at full 10 point there. Yeah. Not much to complain about there. Might even, once that's done, turn up funding and boost, because we don't need to raise the economy much more. And we don't need to raise... Well, we want knowledge to be rising, but we really don't need it rising greater than 20% of the share. But yeah, so Singapore's doing nice. Singapore's doing nice. Because we got into China pretty early, China is stable and is not having super big problems. Although we'd like to control the rest of China. So I hope everyone has been enjoying. If you're watching on YouTube, there will be a part up tomorrow, unless something goes wrong. If you're watching on Twitch, let me go and bring up the schedule so I can announce what's going to be up over the next couple days. Settings, channel, schedule, yeah. So today was Terra Invicta. Tomorrow will be the continuation of Strategic Command, World War I, as the Entente powers. Friday, we're going to start up a new run of Victoria 3. There is a major patch that I think is coming out sometime Well, technically, I'm thinking of it as tomorrow, because it will be the 11th when I wake up. But it should come out the 11th. There should be a new patch for Victoria 3. Technically, as I'm saying this, it's already technically the 11th for some places in the world, because it's 2 a.m. where I am at 11, on the 11th. But yeah, so there'll be a patch for Friday, a new patch for Victoria 3, because it technically comes out on Thursday. So we're going to start a new game, probably as the USA, unless I see lots of indications that the patch has broken something in the game. And part of the reason we're going to play the USA is because if it hasn't broken anything major, the USA is probably going to be the easiest to play around whatever the problem is. So Strategic Command Thursday, Victoria 3 Friday, Saturday we're going to be continuing Shadow Empire, and then Sunday we will be back to Victoria, back to Terra Invicta. We'll be back to this on Sunday, where hopefully we'll be doing a bit more consistent combat. I think also the thing we're going to try out is we're going to try doing particle cannons. So I'm going to try to do particle cannons with a backup missile. So the goal is to basically try to combat disable the enemy fleet with the particle cannons, and then dump the missiles at short range to finish the ships off. We'll see how well that works. But that's the plan. And of course that setup's going to require more armor. That's why we've developed nanotube armor, so we can actually put some armor on the ships and still have something that's semi-viable. So yeah, that's the upcoming schedule. That's the upcoming plans. If you've got any comments you want to leave, feel free to leave them, whether you're watching them on YouTube or Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch, I'm going to leave the stream up for about a minute after I end the YouTube recording to respond to any comments that I haven't responded to. I don't think I've seen any comments in the last hour or so. So with that, I want to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.